Happy Halloween, Fright fans. Welcome to Dr. Gangrene's Edgar Allan Poe-down, Day 5, counting down the films of Edgar Allan Poe, 31 of my favorite, or some that I found that I thought were really interesting Edgar Allan Poe adaptations. Let's reach into the Poe coffin and see what we're going to look at today. All right, let's try this one. Today, we're going to look at the 1932 version of Murders in the Rue Morgue.
Bela Lugosi stars in this 1932 adaptation of the Edgar Allan Poe short story from Universal Studios. Set in Paris in 1845, Lugosi plays Dr. Miracle, a sideshow proprietor of an ape exhibit, billed as the beast with a human soul. He tells the audience he can talk to the ape, named Eric, and gives them a lecture on evolution. The ape winds up snatching the bonnet off one of the patrons, Camille, played by Sidney Fox, and Dr. Miracle takes an immediate interest in her. You see, he is also a mad scientist, the best kind, of course, and has been kidnapping women from the streets of Paris and taking them back to his laboratory, injecting them with a serum of ape blood. Now, we're never told exactly why, but this is presumably to create an ape-human hybrid, and probably to become a mate for his ape companion. As his experiments fail, he dumps his victims' bodies one by one into the river, where they eventually wash ashore and are discovered by the police. The police are stumped, but Camille's fiancé, Pierre Dupin, played by Leon Ames, credited as Leon Wyckoff, is a medical student and becomes intrigued by the case, and specifically by the bizarre blood samples found in each victim. Miracle eventually sends Eric out to kidnap Camille to bring back to his lab, resulting in a climactic rooftop chase and finale. This is an interesting early Universal film directed by Robert Florey and is the first feature film adaptation of a Poe story, which has changed significantly. Poe's short story is credited as the world's first detective story. The film adaptation is less of a mystery film, although there is a slight thread of it in the film, and much more of a chiller. The character of Dr. Miracle and the sideshow aren't in the book. They were created for the film, but honestly, he's the best part of it. Miracle has a mostly mute assistant as well named Janos, and Miracle, Janos, and Eric are a nice stand-in for Dr. Frankenstein, Fritz, and the monster in the super popular Frankenstein released earlier that year. That dynamic could very well have crossed their minds while making this film, especially as Lugosi and Florey were originally slated to star in and direct Frankenstein. Lugosi is terrific as Dr. Miracle, and my biggest complaint in the film is the shots of the gorilla. For some reason, whenever they cut to a close-up of the beast, which was played by famed gorilla man Charlie Gamora, they cut to a close-up of a real-life chimpanzee. It's completely laughable, and it would have been much better to either lose the close-ups altogether or stick to just showing the suit. There are also some pacing issues and awkward humor moments, but overall it's a fun film with some great visuals and cinematography by the fantastic Carl Fruand.
So you had to figure this one would show up in the camera, right? Bela Lugosi, Universal film, Murders in the Rue Morgue. Fans of Poe had to know that this one was coming. What's great is that Poe not only wrote horror, but he also did, in this case, pretty much kicked off the whole detective craze and invented the modern detective story pretty much right here with Murders of the Rue Morgue. That's something that Poe just doesn't get enough credit for. But yeah, Edgar Allan Poe, quite the influential author for sure. And Bela Lugosi, man, you just can't beat Bela in anything he does. I'm gonna give this one, let's say 3 ravens out of 5. It's great little fun film, and I think this one may be on YouTube also, but Universal, I don't know, they can kind of crack down at times, so maybe not, but you can find it easily enough. All right, Fright fans, we'll keep this going tomorrow night. Be sure and join us back here in the lab for another Halloween countdown, our Edgar Allan Poe-down. Keep it going tomorrow. See you then.